Hello, all you beautiful people. Look at that sky. What? It's 11 o'clock p.m. So today's topic is bugs. Bugs. What are bugs like in Iqaluit? Are there bugs here? Are there a lot of bugs? Are there no bugs? Stay tuned. 6 degrees Celsius with a 7 to 11 kilometer hour wind. It's quite lovely. There seems to be a lot of noise around tonight, so let's see how we do. Like that. So let's talk bugs. This is a really interesting topic for me since I've moved here, because it wasn't until I made it through a winter that I realized I hadn't seen any bugs. And then spring came, and there were 2 flies mating in the air outside on my porch. And I found myself, fixated. Not because of the act, but because I just hadn't seen anything other than ravens all winter. Didn't see any bugs all winter. In fact, if a fly or 2 somehow ended up in the house, I don't know where they came from. It's miraculous. But I would open the door and they would fly out, and it's like they would freeze in the middle of the air and then they would just drop to the ground. It's now the middle of June and I'm seeing bugs appear. So today I saw some gnats in the air in this sort of valley area, and I've been seeing, those big chunky flies and some little tiny black flies. And I saw a bumblebee. And I see one bumblebee, it seems, per season. So I've seen my bumblebee early this year, so I really hope I get to see another one. Because where does the bumblebee live? How does the bumblebee survive through the winter? I have so many questions. So inside your home, at least where I am, there are no ants, there are no silverfish, no centipedes, no ugly bugs, no those little gray bugs that curl up into a ball, no fleas. You get some little flying things from plants, if when you get them, it comes in the soil or however that works. But then I live with them. I'm like, hey guys, I got plant visitors, and they stay on the plants, and I'm not so lonely. Aw, cue the violins. So if you grew up here, if you could imagine what it would be like to grow up without a lot of bugs. And one could also say maybe there are more bugs now than there were 20 or 30 years ago. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I feel like I might have heard a few people saying something along those lines. The Arctic does have mosquitoes, and again, I don't know how that works, but they show up in July. It's big, it's boom, it's over. 4 to 6 weeks, it's done. These are all new experiences to me, these short lifespans, and I'm just curious how, the eggs and the larvae and everything survives this harsh climate. It's pretty interesting. I don't consider them foe, I consider them fellow travelers on the Arctic path. The mosquitoes are really annoying. If I could tell you a little story, they didn't really bite me the first few years, and I was pretty excited because I'm fairly popular down south with the mosquito crowd, but they weren't biting me. But last year, that all ended. So it's just really nice not to have a lot of bugs around, I gotta say. I'm not looking forward to going back to a longer mosquito season, ticks in Ontario. And I'm not bug phobic, but there's some bugs I'd just rather not be around, And saying that, there's a fly. Oops, just went that way. There's also, you don't get bugs in your garbage, right? So you don't have bugs like gnats around your fruit when you put your garbage out. It's only just starting to smell a little bit. It's not that whole scene of where it's hot and your garbage is smelly and there's flies everywhere, and it's different, and I like it. I really do. So stay tuned for the future videos where I tell you how I deal with the bugs of Ontario. Again, I'm not afraid of bugs. Okay, here's another quick story. So, you remember when you were a kid and you'd sort of climb under a deck or just climb into some sheltered outdoor space, and there's going to be like cobwebs in there and spiders, and like there might be mice in there, and just, it's not just all clear. But here it is. And so you'll often see kids, because the houses are on, not stilts, but they're raised up off the ground. So there are these crawl spaces. You might think like, oh, I'm not going in there, but like there's nothing in there. Not what you're used to. If you're used to crawling into a space like that, and in other areas there could be like snakes and scorpions, and you know what I mean? Here it's just like, it's just a space. Interesting perspective I wanted to share with you, and I have enjoyed it very much, and not really looking forward going back to the mosquitoes of Ontario, if I'm honest, but it's in the cards for me. So thank you all who are watching the videos to the end. I always try and put something fun at the end, and I have something else tonight for you.